What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to briefly talk about the Diablo 4 beta. I finally got a chance to play it. Obviously, it was part of the server slam, and I didn't play too much, but I want to walk you through what I did do, what I didn't do, but why I'm very much good. Like, I'm good with what I played. I actually quit on my own free will and said, okay, this was incredible, and I'm ready for the base game. I want to experience it all in the base game. So I played it only for about 5 or so hours. I played as a sorcerer. I named it Sorcy the Sorcerer. So I played as a sorcerer, and I think that's what I did, some sort of long-range kind of class back in Diablo 3. I loved 3 so much, and it has a huge memory bank, I guess, stored up here of what I did with it. It was a great time in my life, and I just played the living heck out of that game while actually listening to music. I don't play Diablo 3 and I don't play Diablo 4 for the story or anything like that. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, like visually, and obviously they're doing a lot of really cool things with kind of transitioning from when you're talking to people and the camera will kind of like swoop in, right? It'll go into a cutscene, and at any point, any given point with this game, it looks incredibly good. Obviously, it's the beta. It's not fully a representation of the final game, but I think it's pretty close. So I love how it looks. I truly can say, I don't care about the story. I really don't care about the lore. What I care about is the absolutely incredible gameplay and gameplay hook. So I didn't go all the way. I didn't do everything you were allowed to do. I think there's like 20 or so side missions. Obviously, there's that world boss which I saw videos of people trying to take that thing out. I didn't, attempt that. I didn't do all the story missions, but I did some of it. But I just kind of explored. I just walked around, destroyed as many, enemies as humanly possible, went into quite a few dungeons, beat one, and got to the end of a couple more, but could not beat the final boss. But I was also doing it by myself. I had nobody to help me, and I think I would have been better suited to play with others. But I had an absolute blast, truly, with this game. Again, the gameplay hook of Diablo 3 was so good, and it's, I would say, exactly the same. Here's the thing. I haven't looked too much into Diablo 4 at this point. Now, this is kind of what starts the turnaround, so I fully intend to kind of read up a little bit more on it, get more and more prepared for the base game to come out. But going into this server slam, I've seen some very small gameplay snippets. I obviously know what Diablo looks and feels like. And then I watched any of the trailers, but a lot of them are very cinematic. And again, they're cool to look at, but I really don't care. What I really wanted to do is just make sure the gameplay was as addicting as it should be. And it absolutely was. Now again, I got out of my own free will, but I did that only because it's all right, I got to level 18. I could have kept going. I could have done dungeons, but I was like, honestly, I'm not fully sold on even being the sorcerer. I could be something else when the full game launches. And when the game launches, see, here's something I did not do with Diablo 3. Diablo 3, my PlayStation tells me, I put in 52 hours, of Diablo 3. And that's just one playthrough. And when I beat it, I stopped. I didn't do any endgame stuff. I didn't respec. I didn't do a different class. I didn't do literally anything. I played it one time from beginning to end, lost 52 hours of my life in a good way, and that's all I did. This time around, I guess maybe I'm slightly more busy in terms of, I play more games now than I did, but I would like to try different things. And that's something I will say, because I'm a little bit older and I'm going in to this game a little bit differently than Diablo 3. I'm thinking, okay, can I play this game as the necromancer? Can I play it then as the sorcerer? And can I do it multiple times? How do I get the perfect, how do I spec my character out perfectly to either complement other people or just to kind of survive out there? Also, what I didn't do in 3, didn't do in this beta, but do want to try to do when the game comes out is play it with people. I think the game probably is more fun, with a group, especially these I think some of it, the world events, but just other things in general, some of the dungeons, I think would be a whole lot easier if I did it with other people. Now, I made it through, and, I was still trying to learn and figure out what's the best abilities to use for a sorcerer, but I think having other people, and I ran into a couple people at points, kind of in the larger world. So I was just walking from point A to point B. I found people, we fought together for 10 seconds, and then we split off, and that was fun. I enjoyed that, and I actually kind of wanted them to stick around, but nobody followed me. But beyond that, it is actually, again, very impressive how good this game looks. I don't know if it was Jez Corden or somebody else, they were talking about having their eyes squint and having it actually be kind of painful to look at the game because it's really detailed and really good looking, but it's pulled back so everything's like far away. I never thought about that, but my eyes actually, now I thought I was like maybe tired. It's been a long week, but I honestly felt a little bit of the same when I was playing it. My eye, I squint, I think generally, but I wonder if there's any truth to that. Now I was playing on a TV around the PS5. Maybe if I'm playing it on a monitor, it's different, but I do intend to play it on PS5. But that was just an interesting thing I found where the game does look extremely good. There are a lot of details just in any second to second movement. You move around a little city, you walk through a little lake, which I did, and the water looks absolutely incredible. Any small little thing, there's so much detail. And again, that's kind of brought into life when you're talking to people and the cutscene transitions naturally from just the gameplay, which I think that's a first. I don't think 3 had that, but you guys, again, like the reason I play these games is for that gameplay, and it's just something to do. Honestly, like back in the day, I listened to music. I mean, I can see myself now like listening to YouTube or a podcast or something. Like this is, in my opinion, Diablo 3 was probably a perfect game at just kind of playing it. And it's not mindless because you do have to think about it, but the hook of the dungeons and just going and leveling up and getting better armor, that hook is so perfected and so perfect just in general that. And also, you don't have to think about it too much. You don't have to kind of, I mean, you can give your life to it and actually learn the story and the lore and stuff. Or, like, if you're me, you don't care about that stuff, you can kind of do whatever you want, in the backdrop in your ear, and then just, focus on playing the game. It's a very different way maybe of playing it, but that's how I played 3. That's how I intend to play 4, and I kind of intend to play 4 more than I did 3 because, again, this time I want to play with others. I want to play as more than one class, and I want to try to find, the best middle spot. I think you can have up to 10 characters, right? So the game definitely wants you to like mess around and create more than one character. So I'm excited. We'll talk more about Diablo 4 over the coming weeks. Maybe I'll do like a preview video on it. But in terms of the beta, truly it was everything that I wanted it to be. And also it is freaking gigantic. I think you could probably put, well, people already have. And I know like this isn't the first time the beta has been out. This is the first time I've played it though. And I had heard about how good it was and how big it was, but the fact that you can level up to your heart, I mean, there is the cap, but you can level up to your heart's content. There's just so much. I mean, there was like 8 or 9 dungeons just on my screen that I walked by that I found that I could go in, and those dungeons are long and they're meaty and they're pretty detailed, right? And you can go in with different people and you can play as all 5 classes. Like this beta or whatever is just so gigantic that it's shocking, and it's a very good sign for what will probably be one of, if not like the biggest games in terms of how long you can spend in it. I know Zelda, you can spend quite a few 100 hours in Zelda. Diablo, I think you can kind of do the same. So let me know what you guys thought of the beta, if you played it, if you didn't, in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.